All right. Well, we're back after the holiday. A little bit weird camera angle, though, and yeah, so things are going to get moved around, and I think in the new year we're going to try another angle, maybe over the monitor here. So we'll see about that. But oh, something. Wait a minute. There we go. There was an extra layer on. Yeah, so we will try something different, hopefully with better lighting and everything in the new year. So this is the last cartoon streaming session for 2017, and yeah, we just finished the Christmas in Japan. So kind of a oh, let me turn some of this stuff off here. Kind of a low-key Christmas this year. And yeah, it made me think of a few things. I guess this isn't really creativity or art related, but I thought it would be something interesting. Talk about kind of the culture clash. Well, not really clash, but having kind of dual cultures. So I have a 7-year-old daughter, and raising her in Japan, so she has an American father, Japanese mother, and how that works as far as what you emphasize, what holidays you celebrate. Like I explained before, in Japan, Christmas is not a family holiday. It's a pretty minor kind of couples holiday, and it's even maybe more minor than it was before. I guess there's a gift. There's Santa Claus and possibly a gift for children on Christmas. But mostly, it's a date night. Christmas Eve is the night you want to go out to dinner with someone. Maybe get an expensive gift from them. I think that's changed a lot here. So there's not so much emphasis. And of course, no real tie to Christianity. I don't think there's any understanding of what it signifies for Christian countries. There's just Santa Claus and holly and wreaths and reindeer and things that people can understand and kind of can access from American pop culture. But the interesting challenge or the difficulty is balancing that, because I think something important for kids is to have a an understanding of kind of both of their parents' backgrounds, but also to have a similar take this out, have a similar upbringing or similar kind of childhood memories and references as their classmates and other kids. If anything they do is too completely different, they're not going to have some of those similar things to connect to and talk about. So raising a half American daughter in Japan, want her to have all of the memories of the family holiday of New Year's and things, but also want to give her a little bit of the American style Christmas, so the kind of too many presents and Christmas cookies and those sorts of things that she wouldn't get normally here. And yeah, so that's a little bit of a challenge, and it's difficult to know how much either way you really want to go with with immersing her, because you want her to be part of the country and the culture and the the group that she's living in where she grows up, but you also want her to be aware of the differences in kind of variety of opinions and variety of celebrations and things. And I think it helps that neither my wife or I are particularly religious, so we don't have a very heavy thing that we bring to the relationship and have to have our daughter raised in. But still, in Japan, even if you're not religious, you do pray. You do, go to shrines or temples, and you do pray, even if it's not particularly a major part of your life. So, so there is a bit of that, and so maybe our daughter is never going to experience a Christian church or Christian prayer, but she has grown up praying at uh, at the shrines. And so it's interesting. It's a little bit challenging to kind of know what a good balance is and just make her aware of everything so that when she's, older, she can make decisions and kind of feel that she's part of all of her heritage. I guess that's always been a challenge for anything American, the Muslim American, African American, any American, any immigrant to America is, preserving their language, preserving their culture, in the context of America, when you have the pressure to, English, Christian English speaking country, and how much do you want to preserve that? I know kind of the, previous generations, the idea was to just assimilate and get rid of all of that. And I remember my grandparents not having any foreign language, even though their parents, my great-grandparents, spoke a foreign language. None of them preserved any of that. So maybe in childhood they learned and they could read and speak a little bit, but they immediately got rid of that. So that's the kind of the war generation, the wartime generation, World War II in America. There's a lot of emphasis on just being American, and I think that's changed a lot now. So that balance is difficult. And now living in a country where assimilation is difficult or almost not even an option, it becomes an even bigger challenge, or it's a more interesting problem, because your children raised in the language and the culture can assimilate, can be very much part of that world. But I think the other parent, the foreign parent, is not going to ever convincingly be part of that culture, or in Japan, the Japanese culture. So it's a very different problem, and it's an interesting thing. So we're always kind of thinking about how much she needs to know. And there's always, in Japan, there's always an appeal. The foreign things are appealing, and foreign traditions. I think a lot of things have come to Japan because people have experienced them abroad and thought they were interesting or fun to incorporate, but it's always a Japanese version, and it's always, kind of one level removed. It has a kind of Japanese taste and a Japanese basis. So yeah, I just think that's something that I was thinking about a lot during this holiday, and I think, yeah, an interesting consideration, because you want people to have, to grow up with as big an understanding of the world as possible, but at the same time not have them be, an alien or a foreigner or a visitor to their own childhood. Yeah, so I think that's and possibly kids that grow up with military parents, having moved around to a lot of military bases from their home country, but in foreign countries, surrounded by foreign culture. I think that's another one of those situations where they get a lot of exposure to foreign cultures and foreign language and things, but you're trying to preserve their American or British or whatever their original upbringing is. I think it's a complicated problem, but yeah, I'm curious what people think and how that can be approached. So just kind of instinctually or kind of intuitively, dealing with it and kind of playing it by ear. But yeah, I think it's something to really be aware of in this situation, and I guess just awareness of it will make it that much better. Understanding that you want to have that balance and you want to have that that kind of exposure of both halves of your kids' culture. So yeah, so let's start a little bit drawing. I guess this is all about talking. Let me grab something. Oh, yeah, so a little bit odd angle now. So now you can see the microphone set up. So the microphone is right below the monitor, and you can see there's another monitor here, and it's a little bit messy. So hopefully in the new year we'll get things a little bit more simplified so you can actually see what's going on a little bit better. And I'm not sure actually with things changed, I think the microphone will be clear enough. It's a little bit of a bizarre security camera angle for now, and I'm not sure if putting the camera in the front instead of the back of my head is going to be any more interesting to look at or not. 'Cause I don't think I'm going to be looking at the camera. I'll probably be looking mostly at the tablet for drawing. So we'll have to see. So in the new year, maybe get everything turned around and see what that does as far as making the picture more interesting. So where are... Yeah, so these tapes got moved, I guess. Oh, so yeah, maybe. Can I move these while I'm streaming? I don't think so. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to play... Oh, I can. Da-da-da. Okay, here they go. Oh, look at this. Yeah, so my little tapes are back. For some reason, they got centered. I'm not sure if I'm doing something odd, but there we go. Oh, no, that's not in the way anymore. Oh, it's in the way, but it's not too distracting. I think scale those down. Well, new year and new layout. Maybe we'll come up with some new graphics to make this look a little different. So, last cartoons of 2017. So what a great year this has been. Yeah, I think it's safe to say it was the year of the troll. I think we've gotten a troll president in the American White House, and we have a troll version of Star Wars now. We have everything is a bit of a troll. I think people have become too much of a resident or inhabitant of social media. So the way you get attention and the way you you know, start conversations is just trolling. So we've got a lot of that, just you know, contrarian, sabotaging, subverting everything just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake of getting noticed. That's been a real theme this year, and nothing that particularly want to keep dealing with, and it's not like it's going to go away anytime soon, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's just become a big mess, and I don't know, it's funny to think about how that's become such a default position. And I guess it's just because, you know, people are a lot of their career or a lot of what they're doing, you know, they're involving social media, and that dictates a certain type of conversation, a certain tone, and a certain approach to things. And so we're really seeing the I don't think that's not exactly what I wanted to do. I'm trying to twist this so it wouldn't be completely, I guess a little bit, but more diagonal lines here like this. Let's see here. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's a strange thing, and you know, a lot of people have benefited, and they're using, especially artists, are using social media well, but I think it's definitely affecting the tone and the quality of the conversations we're having now. And the more I talk about this stuff, I'm sure the older and more out of touch I sound, but yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous that all of this is being carried into, you know, everyone's just having to deal with this tone. I wonder if there's an equivalent. Probably not to this extent, but I wonder if there's a, you know, historical equivalent where a generation is feeling, you know, I'm not talking about like slang or anything, but just the way people are relating to each other and the kind of frustrating content of most people's thinking, and I don't know. It's pretty pretty painful, but it is the way things are. Yeah, I always think that's uh, it's funny how we adopt things and we just start, using technologies, or things become kind of a standard, a standard way to do things, and we give zero consideration to the effect, the effect that that's going to have on us. I mean, I guess it's very much like, how we use pharmaceuticals and everything else. They get, considered safe and not harmful in any obvious way, and we just start, getting prescribed these things, and it becomes a part of your life. And especially in your older life, I'm sure there's certain medications now that people do not exist without. They stop taking certain medicine for their blood pressure or whatever, and they're done if they don't. So yeah, I think it's kind of similar to that. There's not a lot of again, I guess there can't be a lot of consideration in the long term what kind of effects these things are going to have. But technologies act in kind of a funny, different way, because they have this social effect, and these social changes or attitudes that are affected. And we have live streaming, suicides, and people doing all kinds of terrible things, using newer technologies. And we really could have given that some thought before these things were set up, and not so blindly. I think that's a very interesting attitude that a lot of software and technology companies have, is they adopt this this, I don't know, persona, this attitude, this image of, we're just doing good things, we're good people. But I think that's pretty dishonest, because we know that it's just, all of this is a money-making pursuit. So people aren't doing this out of the goodness of their heart. People don't make computers and software because they want to do something wonderful for the world. And that's the attitude that everything gets released. Any sort of technology just has this this tone of, we're making the world a better place, we're bringing people together, we're letting you communicate more conveniently and more easily than ever, and never looking at the opposite side of that. And I think, bringing it back to that pharmaceuticals comparison, there's the effect that drugs have, their intended effect, the beneficial effect, and then there's a side effect, and other things that happen to your system, other things that can be affected in the process of this positive effect that it's having. And with things like technology, the side effect is not even considered, and not even there's no attention paid to that. And so we just get these these weird things that are kind of playing towards people's mental illness or mental weakness, or just human weaknesses or imperfections. We have all of these things that just take advantage of that, and generate money, make money for people because of that. But it's just miserable to watch the effect of these things. And I guess people have seen this in bigger ways with the invention of the car, or air travel, or even travel by ship to foreign countries. I think people probably saw huge societal, cultural, social effects because of that, because of the different exchange of ideas and culture and things. But this whole attitude that it's only good, that the people that create these things are only doing it because they're thinking of the good, is pretty dishonest, pretty ugly thing, and I don't like. I think, I don't know, it's just kind of arrogance, the elitist academic arrogance that comes from universities. I mean, the technology, computer science departments, and I don't know. I don't know if there is a just a weird arrogance. We know better than you do. Um, so this kind of thing is for your own good. I don't know. I think it's just very dishonest. But people still accept that pretty blindly, even though we see example after example of these companies behaving pretty badly and having tax havens and countries and things that show that they're just about making and keeping as much of the money as possible, and they're not worried about doing it. They're worried about doing good. They would actually pay taxes in the countries they operate in, and fund some of the public programs and things in those countries instead of saving it for R&D of further ridiculous technologies. But it's a drinking glass with a twist. Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, that's something that I'm getting really tired of. And I guess when you think about this year, it's weird. It's weird that we haven't really seen before these immediate reactions on social media to things that then are processed and addressed by shareholders or groups of executives or whatever, and they actually are having effect on things. And I'm thinking about like movies, like content of movies, and how people are changing. Oh, this must be what the people want because they were complaining about this on Twitter, or they made videos about this or something. It seems really odd that kind of complaints are being addressed in this way, and how I don't know, people are just trying to be responsive. These older styles of entertainment production are kind of being upended a little bit to keep up with how things are changing and how people are reacting. And the people that are reacting so strongly and so quickly to things are probably the last people you want to listen to, as far as making good, interesting work, or making something that's going to last. Because I think most people, especially on social media, their immediate concern is this, whatever the immediate trendy opinion is, or whatever attitude is in vogue at the time. And I think that creates a lot of garbage, and that creates a lot of so we're seeing that in a lot of TV and movies, and it's just the flavor of the week, kind of opinion. And yeah, hopefully someday they're going to start to have a more realistic version of what is valuable and what's more long lasting. Okay, drinking glass with a twist. I guess something to address the end of the year. What other layers do I have here? Nothing at all. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess let's go back and do a little bit more of this. Water glasses. Yeah, maybe we just do some in blue. Nice. Bill. Radiant. Yeah, looking back on this year, yikes. Nonsense. A lot of yeah, just weird reactions. I mean, everybody is about the reaction now instead of doing something genuine or having a thoughtful, well thought out opinion. It's just about the reaction. And yeah, it's interesting. It's funny that we do live in a time where we watch people react to movie trailers or rely on people's opinions of things that maybe we don't ever even need to ourselves with. Yeah, it's an It's an odd thing. There's so much precarious living now with way people consuming media. It's a real, it's a real weird thing, and it's just too bad that we're gonna lose, you know, a lot of pretty light, a lot of kind of older traditional media or ways that people looked and thought about things are just gonna go away and be replaced with opening packages and playing video games and reacting to movie trailers with each other. That's an real odd thing to get your head around. But yeah, that's where we are. I guess reflecting on the past year isn't going to be going to be kind of a downer of a topic. But even more depressing is the this Christmas holiday. We had a pretty rainy Christmas because it doesn't get cold enough here very often for it to snow. And going on, there we go. And so there was some pretty horrible, but there was a pretty horrible typhoon in Southeast Asia over the holiday, so that was lovely news. And so we got some rain and pretty bad winds and things because of that. But it's just a horrible thing to think the Christmas season, because there are plenty of Christians in those countries, and this season is just a one big natural disaster. That was a little depressing. All right. But you just gotta on whatever your situation. So I guess that's what we do. Right, let's try a little lightning. There we go. Okay, well, yeah, let me put the lights on. Let's see. Oh, that's a fun image, but I'm not sure if it's actually that interesting. Oh. A drinking glass with a twist. Go. This. Yes, so if there are any opinions about what might make a better camera angle, I mean, there's people with a lot more experience than I have doing this. Anybody with opinions about the lighting or camera angle or sound, yeah, let me know in the comments, because it'd be interesting to get some other input about what might work better as far as this setup. I guess having the desktop, having Photoshop be the main background and having a little side image is I think definitely the best way to go. But maybe there's some composition or something technical that I'm really making a big mistake on. So if anybody has any opinions about that, please let me know. I would like to make this as enjoyable as possible instead of just odd and uncomfortable to watch. And hopefully the sound issues have been resolved, so that's it's less and less a problem. Early on, I think that was my worst. The worst thing was trying to find a way to get decent sound and not have a lot of equipment in the frame. Yeah, I think this worked. Oh, I think we want those guys a little bit bigger in the frame. They're gonna. Yeah, something. All right, and let's have the not twisted. I do. Not twisted guy is gonna. Yeah, Photoshop's a little slow today. Get a little bit of weird lag, buddy. Okay. It was a it was a drinking glass, but whoa, with a twist. All right. Okay, we'll come back to that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's gonna do it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I've done a few New Year's. We're not completely. I mean, this is going to be it'll be December 28th cartoon. I guess that's close enough to New Year's, but yeah, something about the end of the year. Well, let's just get drawing and see what happens. But yeah, we'll just try some. Some weird numbers here. Let's see if I can actually do this. Oh, this is so wacky. I should probably just draw it and slant and do the perspective in Photoshop. But oh yeah, no, let's not do that. Okay. To whoa. Both of those thicker. All right. So those wonderful. Those haha funny New Year's glasses here on them. They were really, their heyday was definitely the aughts, the 2000s, where they had 2 zeros in the middle for your eyes. Now there's that painful one to really ruin the look of the whole thing. All right, so let's see here. One more. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of weird lag. So line here to look more connected. But a little edge on everything, but it makes sense a little bit more that it's kind of plastic. Let's see. I thought these were going to be glasses, but I can just put the edge on that with the coloring. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be cute. Oh, sorry about that. I keep touching the microphone with the sleeve. Not sure how loud that is. Like that. Yes. that. So I can make more sense out of this is. Oh boy, let's do that. Try it again. All right. There we go. Just a little bit further. Maybe put out and look laying flat. Ah. Yeah, just color to some kind of decoration. Yeah, that might make those awesome little paper signs with the colors. Oh yeah, that might be a nice way to make it look extra ugly. Let's right. The coloring in the red. Hmm. White. I guess this should probably be right. Or how that looks. It's not great against. That's okay. It's ugly. Yeah, ugly. Making the ugliest party store decorations. And although it's been forever since I've been to a party store. All right. Some more. Oh. And Okay. Well, yellow. Okay, beautiful. Oh, so pink. Whoa. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to make this look like anything, but yeah. Hate those uglier. Some shadow. Depth of this. That works. An ugly paper decoration. All right. Then maybe some glossy, shiny highlight. Oh, horrible. Yeah, something like. All right. And then the shadow, that'll help. Hopefully help us see that this is laying flat. This stuff isn't. And maybe falling off a wall would have been a better look. But this. Yeah, so I got a bit of lag today, so I don't know if you can actually see that in the stream, but yeah, Photoshop is a little bit slow. Yeah. So let's see, with or without this odd coloration, that makes it look a little bit more interesting. And some of this doesn't need to be so prominent and actually should really conform a little. Work, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that just barely fits. So a happy end to 2017. Oh, maybe I should do this. Put this and then to further the illusion. Ah, it's not gonna work. That looks so odd. Sorting it. It's making things a little too. Let's see. Oh, sorry, we got some weird lag here. Hello. All right. What it's asking me the whole. Oh, I guess it's. Yeah, let's here. That. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Hey, looks. All right. Okay, something like that. So the best thing about this year was that something about the new year not being bad as the last. Enjoyable the most. How about the year was that? Pretty long-winded. Most encouraging thing. I'm still close enough to the mic. I'm back a little far. The most encouraging thing about the new year was it could not possibly miserable the last. That's really long-winded. Yeah, that's pretty long-winded. What you think about the new year? The best part. Up a little bit. Sorry, I'm not talking very much. I'm just worrying about how this is looking, which is Not looking good. Yeah, the lag is really messing me up here, but we'll deal with it. Uh, hmm. There was hope that the new year would be much less garbage than the last. It was hoped that the new year would be somewhat less garbage than the last. There was little hope. There was little. There was little hope that the new year would be Oh, let's keep thinking about that one and go back to our incredible drinking glass. Yeah, I think I'm not going to get away from the bad pun. Let's just simplify this. She seems somewhat less herself around him. That's just bizarre. Bizarre looking too. Oh, actually, yeah, I should maybe I'm not doing this very well. Shadow here. Maybe somehow. What? Yeah, that makes really. She seems somehow less herself around. Yeah, that works as a silly visual. That seems somehow less herself around. Little hope the new year would be any less garbage than the last. Break this here. Yeah, not sure if that's the good use. the word, but I think garbage New Year sounds pretty funny. There was little hope that the New Year would be any less garbage than the last. Garbage New Year. Okay. She seemed somehow less herself around him. Still don't like that shadow, but and then maybe this would have a yes. What happened there? I'm the wrong button. There we go. All right, something like that. Like she seems somehow less herself. And we'll hope that the New Year would be any less garbage. Oh, stuck on something. All right, thank you. Okay. Yeah, not great. Well, the year of abuse is ending as weakly as it began. But now it's all documented on a live stream. So there was little hope that the New Year would be any less garbage than the last. And she seemed somehow less herself. All right. That is what we have. So the last two cartoons of 2017. So we'll see you in 2018 with hopefully a new camera angle, a new setup, some new lighting, something a little different to make this a little more interesting to watch. And yeah, have a happy and safe new year, and hope you had good holidays. And we'll be back. We'll be back in a week, just like I think. Hopefully, actually, we'll be back in less than a week because this is a day late. So we'll see you. Oh, and that's another thing I might have to think about in the new year is the timing of this stream. Not sure if it's very convenient or very useful for anybody to watch this when it's being shown. So if the schedule changes in the new year, I'll kind of give some warning about that, and maybe find a new day and new time that would be more convenient for other people. In the meantime, have a good new year, and see you again. See you next week. Bye bye.